You are exhausted, not the kind of tiredness that a few hours of sleep can cure. It is a deep, bone-aching weariness that seems to echo through your very cells. You feel it the moment you open your eyes in the morning, a heavy, invisible weight pressing down on your chest, settling into your shoulders, pulling at the base of your neck. Your mind races, cycling through endless checklists, obligations, and worries. Yet your physical body feels like it is moving through thick water. Your jaw is clenched. Your breathing is shallow. You walk through rooms and forget why you entered them. This is not just fatigue. This is the physical manifestation of carrying a weight that was never meant to be carried by you alone. You look around, and it seems like everyone else is moving at a frantic pace, seamlessly blending into the chaos. While you feel a profound dissonance, your nervous system is vibrating at a frequency of constant alert. You are waiting for the next shoe to drop, the next crisis to manage, the next expectation to fulfill, and the guilt, the relentless, suffocating guilt, whispers that if you stop, if you just sit down and do nothing, everything will fall apart. You have been conditioned to believe that your worth is measured by your output, by how much you can fix, by how much you can endure. Emotionally, you are running on fumes. You are the one people come to. You are the listener, the healer, the anchor in the storm for those around you. You absorb their grief, their anxiety, their frantic energy, pulling it into your own space until there is almost no room left for you. You feel a profound, aching loneliness, even in a crowded room, because you realize that while you are holding space for everyone else, no one is holding space for you. You feel deeply misunderstood, alienated by a society that prizes shallow interactions and constant motion over depth and stillness. You have been the strong one for so long that you have forgotten how to simply exist without a purpose, without a mission, without a problem to solve. But there is a deeper truth here, an unseen shift happening beneath the surface of your exhaustion. Your inner self, your spirit, has pulled the emergency brake. What you are experiencing is not a failure of willpower. It is a profound, necessary, energetic recalibration. Your frequency is shifting. For years, your energy has been projected outward, scattered across dozens of different timelines, people, and obligations. Your spiritual field is oversaturated. The static of the outside world has grown so loud that it is drowning out your own inner voice. The heavy, stagnant energy you are feeling is the accumulation of other people's projections, the residue of environments that simply do not align with who you are becoming. You are being called into silence. The universe is not punishing you with this exhaustion. It is protecting you. It is physically grounding you, forcing you to stop the endless cycle of doing so that you can remember the sacred art of being. The tension in your body is the resistance to this pause. The anxiety you feel when you try to rest is simply the old programming, the outdated survival mechanisms, burning themselves out. Breathe. Just breathe. Listen to the cadence of these words and let them be the permission you have been desperately waiting for. Right now, at this exact moment, there is absolutely nothing you need to fix. There is no one you need to save. There is no milestone you need to sprint toward. You do not need to figure out the rest of your life today. You do not even need to figure it out tomorrow. Let the frantic spinning of the world continue without you for a while. It will survive. But you, right now, must simply stop. You might be asking yourself why this is happening right now. Why this sudden, overwhelming crash? Why does the urge to pull away, to retreat into isolation, feel so absolute and undeniable? To understand this, we must look beneath the surface of your daily routines and examine the profound inner mechanics of how you have been operating your entire life. What you are experiencing is not a random bout of sadness, nor is it a sign of weakness. It is the inevitable, entirely necessary collapse of a system that was built to carry far too much weight. For as long as you can remember, you have possessed a hyper-attuned awareness. You learned early on, perhaps, as a survival mechanism in a chaotic or emotionally demanding environment, to read the room. You learned to sense the subtle emotional weather of others before they even spoke a single word. You became the emotional shock absorber for your family, your friends, and your workplaces. Every time you walked into a space, your subconscious mind immediately began cataloging the unspoken tensions, the hidden sorrows, and the heavy expectations of everyone around you. You have been running a massive, invisible background program, silently processing the emotional data of 10 different people while trying to simply live the life of one. This takes an immense, almost unquantifiable amount of psychological and emotional resources. Think about the physical toll this has taken on you. The persistent tension, headaches, the sudden, unexplained waves of exhaustion, the deep fatigue that settles right behind your eyes. These are your body's natural, desperate alarms. Your nervous system is exhausted from being constantly dialed up, constantly scanning for emotional shifts, constantly managing the comfort of others at the expense of your own peace. You have been carrying a heavy, dense emotional load, and the lightness you crave is impossible to achieve while your hands are full of everyone else's baggage. The profound shift you are feeling right now is your deep inner self, your core, finally stepping in and enforcing a boundary that your conscious mind was too conditioned or too guilty to set. Your internal compass has initiated a shutdown sequence. The reason you feel so disconnected from the circles and situations you used to engage with is that your internal values are fundamentally realigning. You are no longer willing to trade your authenticity for attachment. You are realizing that conforming to environments that require you to shrink, to hide, or to constantly overextend yourself is a profound betrayal of your own spirit. This is precisely why you have always felt like the outsider, the black sheep, the one who just couldn't quite fit the mold, no matter how hard you tried. It is not because there is something wrong with you. It is because you process reality with a depth that many people avoid. You do not skim the surface of life. You feel the deep, pulling currents underneath, while others are comfortable with superficial connections and polite fictions. Your mind and heart demand truth, but existing with that level of depth, without rigid boundaries, is incredibly draining. The underlying reason for this exact moment in your life is a massive reclaiming of your own energy. You have not failed, rather, you are finally honoring the absolute necessity of your own self-preservation. The withdrawal, the need for deep silence, the sudden, sharp lack of tolerance for drama, this is the actual feeling of you calling your power back to yourself. You are unspooling the lifelines you have tied to so many other people's needs. The silence may feel deafening right now, heavy and intimidating. But that is only because you are so deeply accustomed to the chaotic noise of everyone else. Do not run from the quiet. Stay in the silence. It is the only place where true recalibration begins. As you sit in this necessary silence, as you finally begin to pull your vital energy back into your own center, you will notice a very specific, undeniable reaction from the world outside, the systems, the structures, and the individuals who have grown entirely accustomed to feeding off your endless supply of empathy are beginning to panic. You must understand this absolute truth. Those who benefited from your lack of boundaries will always be deeply offended the moment you finally build them. You are not imagining the pushback. This is happening, and it is a direct result of your shifting frequency. Pay close attention to the physical reality of your life right now. Notice what happens the moment you decide to rest. Suddenly, there is an influx of manufactured emergencies. Your phone lights up with texts from people who only ever reach out when they need you to anchor them in their own storms. Notice the passive-aggressive remarks, the sudden coldness in a room when you simply say the word no. They will physically try to invade your space, creating loud, immediate chaos just to force you to step back into your old, exhausting role of the ultimate fixer. Your body recognizes this instantly. Your stomach ties in tight. Heavy knots when their name flashes on your screen. Your chest tightens. This is your biological warning system alerting you to a familiar, dangerous drain. Listen to your body. It is telling you exactly who is taking and who is giving. Then comes the emotional manipulation. Heavy and suffocating. They will attempt to use the very empathy that makes you so powerful as a weapon against you. You will hear the words selfish, cold, or arrogant. They will try to plant dark seeds of doubt in your mind, attempting to gaslight you into believing that your need to protect your peace is actually a betrayal of them. They desperately want you to feel guilty. They want you to sink back into that deep, familiar shame, because guilt is the invisible leash they have always used to drag you back into their drama. But hear this clearly. They do not miss you. They miss the version of you that was easily consumed. They miss the resource you provided. We must look at the unseen, energetic reality of what is truly occurring. Energetically, you are starving the toxic, parasitic dynamics that have surrounded you for years. You have always been a lighthouse in the dark, naturally emitting a high, pure, radiant frequency of compassion and understanding. People operating on lower, denser vibrations, those caught in endless loops of emotional vampirism, manipulation, and control have unconsciously flocked to your light to warm themselves. They took your warmth, offering absolutely nothing in return. But now, you are dimming that beacon for them. You are pulling the drawbridge up. The energetic backlash you feel from them, their anger and confusion, is simply their own frequency plummeting because they no longer have unlimited access to your spiritual reserves. They are not just angry, they are profoundly terrified of you. The matrix of superficiality, conformity, and control relies entirely on people like you staying exhausted, compliant, and constantly doubting your own immense worth. When a true empath, a black sheep, suddenly realizes their own sovereign power and simply refuses to participate in the game anymore, the entire system glitches. You are holding up a blinding mirror to their unhealed wounds simply by existing in your newfound peace. Your silence is absolutely deafening to them because it forces them, finally, to sit with their own internal noise. Do not engage with their panic. You do not need to defend your healing. You do not owe an explanation for your exhaustion to the very people who caused it. This aggressive resistance you are facing is the absolute, undeniable confirmation that what you are doing is working. The turbulence around you is nothing more than the sound of old chains breaking. Let them break. We must now descend into the absolute, unshakable truth of your existence. This is the metaphysical blueprint of why you are here, why you have suffered so deeply, and why you are currently being hidden away in this profound, restorative isolation. You are not experiencing a random series of unfortunate events, nor is your exhaustion a mere medical mystery. You are undergoing a prophesied initiation. The universe operates on exact, immutable laws of frequency and resonance. For decades, you were planted in dense, hostile, low-vibrational soil, your dysfunctional family, toxic relationships, endless karmic loops. The Matrix designed this to crush you, to keep your immense light contained under thick layers of physical trauma and emotional despair. But the divine architecture of your soul had an entirely different plan. Let us look at the physical reality of this truth. Your literal, physical body is currently upgrading. The unexplained heaviness in your limbs, the sudden ringing in your ears, the sharp intolerance for low-quality food, artificial environments, or shallow conversations. This is your cellular structure actively rejecting the old world. Your DNA is waking up. It is remembering its divine origin. You are physically unplugging from the artificial grid of the Matrix. This is why you cannot sleep at normal hours. Why you suddenly wake up at 3 a.m. feeling a surge of unexplained energy or a deep, ancient knowledge. Your biological vessel is being beautifully rewired to hold a frequency of light that this planet desperately needs but rarely sees. You are becoming a literal conduit for higher consciousness. And a conduit must be entirely emptied before it can be filled with something new. Emotionally, you must realize that every single tear you shed in the dark, every betrayal you endured from those who were supposed to protect you, was not a punishment. It was a rigorous, divine training ground. You are a cycle breaker. You are the generational curse breaker of your bloodline. You chose, before you ever took your first breath, to incarnate into the deepest density, into the family carrying the heaviest trauma, so that you could finally transmute it. The Matrix sent its best agents, the narcissists, the energy vampires, the manipulators, to break your spirit. They studied your empathy. They weaponized your immense capacity to love. And yet, look at you. You are still here. Your heart is bruised. Your mind is exhausted. But your spirit remains absolutely unbreakable. You have passed the emotional test. You have learned to discern the demon hiding behind the smiling mask. This brings us to the deepest spiritual law, the profound prophecy of your life. The divine source, the ultimate creator, does not call the equipped, it equips the called. You are a starseed, a chosen one, placed here with a specific, vital mission to anchor a new frequency on this earth. The reason you never fit in is because you were never meant to. You are from the future. You are the architect of a new paradigm. The Matrix is a failing, decaying system built entirely on fear, scarcity, and domination. You are a literal threat to that system simply by waking up in the morning and choosing authenticity over conformity. The divine has separated you, pulled you into the wilderness, not to abandon you, but to protect you while you undergo this final metamorphosis. Your isolation is your sacred cocoon. Your silence is not surrender, it is the drawing back of a massive bowstring. The energy you are gathering right now in the quiet is the exact power you will use to shatter the illusions around you. The universe is actively aligning circumstances, moving people out of your way, and preparing the exact path you are meant to walk. Do not doubt the magnitude of who you are for a single second. The spiritual war is real. The battle for your frequency is real, but you must know this with absolute, undeniable certainty. You have already won. The darkness cannot comprehend the light you carry. It can only flee from it, now that you know exactly who you are, and exactly why the world has so desperately tried to drain you. It is time to physically activate your protection. This is not a mere metaphor. This is a literal, tactical shift in how you operate in the physical realm. I need you to feel your physical body right now. Plant your feet firmly on the ground. Feel the absolute density and solid support of the earth beneath you. The artificial world, the matrix, wants you living entirely in your anxious mind, floating untethered in a constant, exhausting state of fight or flight. Grounding yourself is your first physical act of rebellion. When the phone rings with yet another manufactured crisis, when that familiar text message arrives, dripping with unspoken demands and heavy expectations, your physical response must be absolute, unbreakable stillness. Do not rush to answer. Let it ring. Let the notification sit in the dark screen of your device. Your immediate accessibility is a high-tier privilege that has just been permanently revoked. Physically step away from the device. Go to the sink. Fill a glass of cold water and feel the weight of it in your hand. Breathe slowly, pulling the air deep into your diaphragm, holding it for 3 heavy seconds, and releasing the frantic, jagged energy they are trying to project onto you. You are building a physical fortress of habit, one where your absolute peace dictates your actions, not their endless panic. Emotionally, you are going to step into the most powerful phase of your life, the sacred, untouchable art of being entirely unbothered. The old guilt will undoubtedly try to rise. The outdated programming will whisper in your ear that you are being selfish, that you are arrogant, that you are abandoning the people who need you. When that familiar, heavy emotion drops like a stone into your stomach, I want you to simply greet it. Recognize it as an obsolete ghost of your past, a remnant of a timeline you no longer inhabit, and let it pass right through you. You are no longer emotionally responsible for the happiness, the stability, or the chaotic moods of grown adults who fiercely refuse to heal themselves. Imagine a thick, impenetrable wall of clear energy dropping violently between your heart and their chaos. You can look through the glass. You can see them frantically waving their hands. You can watch their dramatic storms unfolding. But you cannot hear them. And more importantly, you do not feel them. Their emotional storms will never again dictate your inner weather. You are reclaiming sovereign, absolute ownership over your own joy. And now, we seal this energy. We lock the gates. Close your eyes if you are in a safe place to do so, and let the resonance of this truth vibrate through your very bones. I speak this over your life, your spirit, and your infinite timeline, by the supreme, divine authority of the ultimate creator. I call all of your scattered energy back to you right now. Every piece of your brilliant soul that you left in toxic rooms, every ounce of your pure light that was siphoned by parasitic connections, I command it to return to your center this very second, washed clean and completely purified. You are sealed. You are protected by an invisible, divine armor of high-frequency light that low vibrational entities simply cannot penetrate, cannot perceive, and cannot comprehend. Any energetic weapon, any dark intention, any word of doubt formed against your mind, your body, or your spirit is instantly dismantled and returned to the sender. You are the grand architect of your reality. You are the chosen vessel of a sovereign, untouchable frequency. Walk proudly in this immense power. Breathe in this undeniable, radical peace. The war for your attention is over, and you have emerged completely victorious. If your spirit recognizes the absolute truth in these words, if your soul is vibrating right now with this divine activation, do not let this massive energetic moment pass unrecorded. Claim this frequency right now. Type "I reclaim my power" in the comments below to physically anchor this spiritual intention into your waking reality. Subscribe to this channel to stay permanently tethered to your true spiritual family, the ones who truly see you, who fiercely validate you, and who are walking this exact same ascension path by your side. You are never alone. You are the chosen one, and your time in the dark is finally, permanently over.